Coming up on today's Louisville Real Estate Show, if you die first and your spouse is not on the deed, could he or she lose everything? We'll explain how to protect him or her. Also, does it pay to hire an appraiser to give you a value of your home before you put it on the market? You just may be surprised at the answer. And should your air conditioner be inspected right now, or at least this coming week? Hi, everybody. Bob Sokoler, owner of the Sokoler team, Remax Properties East. Thank you for joining us on this first Sunday in June. Can you believe it's already June? Oh, my goodness.
Crazy.
It's nuts. Those are the voices in the background you can hear of the two folks who are going to be participating in our show today. First, Lee Harris. She is one of the head legal counsel over at Limestone Title and Escrow, LLC. They do a great job of getting your loan closed. They're also really good people, and they've got these great cookies when it comes to closing. You can reach Lee and the folks over there, and this is Lee's actual cell phone, so take note, fellow agents. If you need advice legal, Lee is there. 649-7964. Also, Randy Rocky is with us. He is one of the head guys over at Swan Financial, and the difference between Swan and other mortgage companies, other banks, is Randy and his folks will go out and shop a loan for you to get the very best deal, and he works hard to do that for you. He just closed a loan for some folks of mine, some buyers, who just love this guy. So I'm just telling you, and I've used him well. So listen, he comes with a great pedigree behind him. Randy Rocky, Swan Financial, 645-0736. And if you are thinking of buying or selling a home, I would really love to help you. And if you're selling, it's me. I come out. We spend as much time as you want. And for those of you who have met with me, you know, it's really, I love what I do, and I'd love to talk to you. We talk about the plan. We talk about how to get from where you are now to where you want to be. And what pricing, of course, is important, and we look at the price of what your home is worth. You can call me, no home too big, no home too small, and I work in Southern Indiana and, of course, the Louisville and surrounding counties. My direct cell, 376-5483. That translates into 376 live. Or you can go to bobsellslouisville.com and click on the information there and fill it out. And for a free instant analysis of your home, what is it worth right now? I'll tell you if you go to WeSellLouisville.com and click on the top of the page. All right, so we've got a lot of questions coming in, and this first one, Lee, for you over at Limestone. Question comes from one of our listeners. We will call him Ronnie. He actually called me and said he is getting on in years. Nice guy. He said he's worried what happens to his house if he or his wife passed away. And apparently, in a nutshell, the house is in, I believe, his name on the deed. But he's worried since his wife is not on the deed, what happens if he passes away before her? And I explained to him about our dower courtesy or dower courtesy state, but I figured really this is a good explanation for you, Lee, to talk to all of our listeners about what they should be thinking about, and maybe also a will.
Yes, absolutely. So you could die with a will or without a will. I would suggest all of you listeners out there, if you don't have one, get a will, because that makes things easier for your heirs and clarifies everything and puts somebody in charge who you trust to handle your affairs. If somebody dies with a will, then the properties go to whoever's listed in that will. If you die what's called intestate, there's a statute in Kentucky, and it basically says that if you have children and a spouse, your spouse gets half of your real property and half of your personal property, and your children split the other half of your real property and the other half of your personality. You can change that and make it very simple by just having your property in survivorship. That way, whichever spouse passes first, that spouse gets the whole thing. And so they can live there the rest of their lives. And then, of course, when they pass away, they can have a will and leave it to your children or whoever they want to leave it to. So having a will is the best thing to do. You could also have a trust in which and that sounds like something that only, fancy people have a trust. It's actually pretty simple to set up a simple trust. You can put your house in the trust, and then you and your spouse can be co-trustees. And then if one of you passes away, then the other one is the beneficiary of the house and vice versa. And so that's actually a simple thing to do too. You just need a quick claim deed, changing the deed into your trust.
And to get back to Ronnie's original question about him being on the deed, but his wife is not, should he or anybody else listening to us even worry about that? Because whether or not you live with a will or not.
Yes. So if he's on the deed and she's not, then if he doesn't have a will, then the spouse would get half and half of the personalty inside, and his children, if they have any, would get the other half and the personalty inside. There's a statute that sets out, it just goes down the line, it gets down to cousins and, things like that. But if you have a spouse, your spouse is automatically entitled to half and half of your personalty.
Got it. So then it's at our courtesy state that we live in. It's an old English term. So what we'll do, I'll be giving out Lee's number if you want more information about that, and a reminder that if you want to listen to this again, because obviously we throw a lot of questions and a lot of information at you all throughout our show, you can go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's LouisvilleAnswers.com. And that's going to be a rebroadcast of this show with video. So you'll be able to see as we're going along here. Hopefully that will help you. All right, we move on. Randy Rocky, Swan Financial. Randy, one of my sellers sent me an article that comes from Realtor.com, their website, and I wanted to discuss this with you and the rest of the audience. The headline for the article is, Home Sellers Who Pay for a Pre-Appraisal Before Listing May Regret It. So I found that fascinating, and I thought this would be something that a lot of folks who may be considering, either now or down the road, thinking about an appraisal. Let's first tell you that really a competent real estate agent can get you comparables. It's different than an appraisal. Explain what the appraisal is, Randy.
Yeah, so the appraisal is actually the appraiser goes out. Usually, in this situation, we're going to talk different, but they go out after we actually lock a loan, and we assign them to a certain underwriter, and then the appraiser goes out and gives the value of the home, and they do it usually with comps. With houses, usually within 6 months, they can go out as much as a year, and usually within a mile to mile and a half is what they like to do, if possible, in the same neighborhood. And I think you'll elaborate, and I agree with you on why, especially with someone of your expertise, why I don't think it's actually a good idea. I'm going to let you kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, so appraisers may get a little annoyed at me, but understand. So we're trying to save our sellers and buyers money here. And that is, sometimes an appraiser will come in low, sometimes they'll come in on the money target, and then sometimes they'll come in a little high.
Right.
And if they come in on the money or a little high, that's great. But if for some reason, it's not an exact science, appraisers, you know what I'm talking about. It's not an exact, but if they come in low, now you're thinking your house, let's just say the appraiser says it's worth $300,000. Now I come out separately and I say, you give me 300, but I'm pretty aggressive. When I comp it out, I'm looking, we can start high, you can always come down, you can't do the reverse, you really don't want to go up. So I'll say, okay, let's start at $330,000. Now, if we've got the appraisal, you may say, no, I won't go with the appraisal. This is the professional. Let's go with them. So now you've already given up $30,000. And I have seen, I'm telling you, in my 20 plus, almost 21 year career, where the people will pay for a house that's unusual, different, really well done, in a great location. There could be their father lives next door and they want this house to be so close. You don't know, and they're willing to make up the difference in cash even if the appraisal is lower than what they're paying for it. So that's where this story, I think, has genesis, comes out of. You could, and certainly in some cases, if I go out there and I'm stumped, I'm going to tell you, you may want to get a professional appraisal opinion, because I can't find comps that meet the coordinates that we just went ahead and Randy mentioned, half a mile to a mile radius, going back 6 to 12 months, subject neighborhood. So that's why I would suggest it, but I also will give you an opinion, and at least I think that's where it comes in. Sound good, Randy? Good?
Yes, absolutely. And I cannot emphasize enough how that I just don't think that's the proper route. What I think you should do is get a qualified real estate agent, and Bob's team is definitely one of the top in Louisville, obviously, and I think that's where you should go about what they say, or at least look at that and explore, saying, hey, this is what we should put this house on the market for.
Yeah.
So I know we're kind of being a little redundant, but I really think it's a bad rabbit hole to go down, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's why Realtor.com wrote that article. I don't always agree with Realtor.com or Zillow, but I'm just telling you, this one I do agree with.
Yes.
A reminder, if you would like to actually see what sellers have said about us in closings, at closing tables, you can go to LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. That's a redirect to our YouTube channel for that, LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. Lee Harris over at Limestone Title. Jeanette found, and I thought you'd be the perfect person to ask this. Jeanette found a cleaning company online, said in the ad that they would send 2 maids and 6 hours of work. The total would be $480. Okay?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
The cleaning company only sends 1 maid and still charge $480 for 1 maid 6 hours. So now she's got a dispute, Jeanette does, with the cleaning company, and she wants to know, what would you suggest to prevent this to happening to other people, and what should she do? And I think she's got a good point. Two people, $480 for 6 hours. Okay, that's still steep,
Yeah.
but that's different. So what would you suggest to homeowners who are listening to us right now who want to use a maid?
Well, I think if it's a good company, a reputable company, of course they'll have insurance and everything like that. That's what you want to check. But also they should have a contract. And so if you feel like you signed a contract and they're not following that contract, there's probably a dispute resolution in that contract if it's a good one. If so, follow that first. The second thing, of course, if they don't, you're supposed to be, the customer's always right. They're supposed to work it out with you. But if they don't for some reason, then you always can, of course, go to the Better Business Bureau and make a complaint. You can go to Yelp and make a complaint. You can go to the Attorney General. I'm not sure the Attorney General is going to take a $480 complaint, but there certainly are avenues for consumers to be protected in this realm. And I think that for other people who are listening, if you have a contract, because that, to me, the way that they wrote it is open to interpretation. So I would clarify. So you're saying that there's going to be two people here at the same time for 6 hours each, which would total 12-hour man hours, right? And if they say, yes, that's correct, put it in an email, put it in a text, clarify what you're getting. And then you can say, if I don't get that, then I should get a discount because I'm paying way more than the going rate per hour.
So negotiated up front is what you're saying.
Yes.
And from what I understand, the cleaning company is coming after Jeanette for not paying them their full load there because they feel they are owed it. So folks, this could be, really, Lee's giving you some great advice that negotiate it, make sure you got a contract, review that contract, because if you don't, you could end up in a situation where the company is coming after you because of a misinterpretation. Good stuff.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I thought about this when I read this article. I said, I think we all need to review this. Should you have your air conditioner actually checked, cleaned now rather than waiting for something to happen? But it's an interesting read and an interesting story. I think you'll appreciate it. A reminder, if you want to see what people are saying about my Sokoler team, our group, myself, our agents, you can go to LouisvilleZillow.com. That's LouisvilleZillow.com, or go to LouisvilleGoogle.com. As you've heard in the past, if you listen to the show, we're really proud. Continuing with us through the break, we've got Lee Harris, who is the legal counsel over at Limestone Title and Escrow. She's a great source of information. They do a great job over at Limestone Title. You can reach Lee at 649-7964. Also continuing, Randy Rocky. He's one of the head guys at Swan Financial, where they shop your loan to get you the best rate. You can reach Randy 645-0736. And if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the future, I'd love to help and love to talk. You can call me, free, no obligation analysis. We talk. I'll come out. It's me, and we discuss. No home too big, no home too small, both in Louisville, Southern Indiana, and surrounding areas. You can reach me on my cell phone, 376-5483, or that translates into 376-LIVE, or you can go to bobsellslouisville.com, fill out the form, and for that free instant analysis of what your home is worth, try it. It's computerized. You can go to WeSellLouisville.com and click on the top of the page. We're back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS. News Radio 840 WHAS. Thank you, Barbara Corcoran. She's a mentor, a friend. She, of course, you hopefully know her from Shark Tank. And she is amazing and has a great sense of business about her. And I'm proud to call her a friend and a mentor. Thank you, Barbara. Continuing with us until the top of the hour, Lee Harris, legal counsel, Limestone Title and Escrow. You can reach them for closing your loan. You can pick the closing attorney that you want, and Lee does a great job, and her team, getting the loan closed. You can reach her on her cell phone. Yes, 649-7964. Also, Randy Rocky continuing with us, Swan Financial, where they shop the loan. They get you the very best rate, and that's important in this time and age. You want to call Randy at 645-0736. And if you're thinking of selling your home now, I'd love to help you. Free, no obligation. I'll come out, we'll talk. Take as much time as you want. I'd love what I do. You can find that out in person by calling me at 376-5483. That translates into 376-LIVE. Or you can go to bobsellslouisville.com, fill out the form, hit submit. And then, of course, you can get your free analysis of what your home is worth by going to WeSellLouisville.com and click on the top of the page. Most all of us have them, air conditioners. Some of them are working in great condition. Some maybe not. So why would you think about a tune-up if it's working well? Well, Think of the HVAC system as the heart of your home's comfort. If it's not working properly, and everything's going to feel off. So regular tune-ups. And I have no interest in some of the air conditioning companies that tout this. I'm telling you from my perspective as a homeowner, you want to keep an eye on what is going on with the air conditioner before things go bad. So it will, tune-up will, extend the life of your unit, improve energy efficiency, right? That's lower utility bills, catch small problems before they become expensive repairs, keep your home comfortable year-round, and it will keep your warranty, if you have one that maybe is 5 years or younger. Manufacturers have those. It'll keep the warranty valid. And as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, I have a rental property, and I'm thinking, I need to get that HVAC serviced like now. I'm going to have that set up this week. So here are some things a service company does, just so you know. Thermostat, they check the settings and calibration, electrical connections, safety controls, airflow and blower components, condensate drain lines to check to make sure that they're cleaned so they don't clog up, and that actually happened to me. Refrigerant levels, burner and ignition systems for the heating side, filter conditioning, and ductwork. Now, if your HVAC company doesn't do that, you may want to find one that does, and if by chance we're going too fast for you and you want to get a look at this again, go to LouisvilleAnswers.com. That's LouisvilleAnswers.com. You can see the rebroadcast and you'll be able to see what I just read. And if you want, you can always email me, bob@WeSellLouisville.com, and I will send you a copy of what I just read as well. So you have a check sheet against what other air conditioning companies will do for you. All right, we go back to Randy Rocky, Swan Financial. Connie has lived in her current house for the past 7 years. Lee and folks listening, this is amazing. It's important, and I think everyone is going to go, huh? 7 years, Connie's living in her house, Randy, and she just found out that her mortgage is assumable.
Oh,
Whoa, right?
yeah.
Her current interest rate is 3.2%.
Right.
She's wondering, can she advertise if she's selling her home? And what's actually involved? So, Randy, what? 3.2%. Yeah, so what will that do? An assumable mortgage.
So let's assume, on the assumable, no pun intended, on the assumable loan, that she owes $200,000 on the house. This is where it gets a little complicated.
Right.
All right. And Bob comes out and says, "Hey, your house is worth $500,000," and they sell it for $500,000. They say, "Oh, you can assume the loan." You can only assume $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
So either somebody's going to have to come with a big down payment, do a second mortgage, which gets a little dicey, and it makes it difficult with the way the market has. Because what happened is when rates were low is when housing was a lot lower, and since 2021, now that rates have shot up, so has obviously the equity in people's homes dramatically. Some as much as 50%. And it puts a real strain on being able to do this unless someone comes in and can either put a large down payment or get a second mortgage. We don't do a lot of them.
Right, because there are not that many assumables out there. But if you find out there is, it's a selling technique. That
it is absolutely. But again, somebody's got to come with that extra.
So let me just, the elephant in the room. So let's say you've got $200,000 left on the mortgage. Okay, that's the assumable part. It's a $500,000 host. Let's say you have $100,000 in cash you're getting from the sale of your existing house. So now you got a difference of $200,000, right? We're talking $200,000. So you'll need to take out a loan, and I want to know specifically. You said it's kind of dicey. You need to take out a loan for $200,000 at the prevailing rate, which 6, 7, whatever the interest rate is.
It's higher than that.
Oh, it is higher than that.
Usually, because it's a second mortgage, there's more risk. Yeah. Here we go.
How high is it? Yeah.
Usually a prime. You can get a home equity line or a second mortgage, in the high sevens. So then what we do is we look at a blended rate. Okay, does it make more sense because of the 200,000? Let's say they have 200,000.
Yeah.
The blended rate is, let's say, 5.5, and they go, "Hey, we can still do this. We can just do the second mortgage, be done. You assume the first, and everybody screams for ice cream, so to speak."
Yeah.
But there's a lot of situations where that doesn't come into play. So that's something where you really, and I cannot emphasize enough, you're going to have to get a very seasoned loan officer to understand. I mean, to work this type of deal.
And folks, I'm going to give Randy's number out. He is one of those seasons. And in fact, when you go to the spice aisle at Kroger,
there's
or
Randy.
Randy's right there at the season.
Oh no, it's outdated. I'm old, but at least it's still you can still have the spice.
All my spices
taste
are
it.
outdated, Randy. So
Yeah,
don't worry
so
about
am mine. Yeah, and yeah, I'm told by the wife, you got to get rid of this. I go, no, it's still good.
Yeah.
Well,
That's right.
Gotta go. You're eating spoiled. It's out. The date's over. You gotta go. So I listen to her. She knows a lot more than I do. I'm telling you right. If you are thinking about selling your home, we have a free, no obligation booklet. Hundreds of useful tips. If you want a copy, send me an email. It's free, guys. No obligation. Free of charge. Don't we like the word free? Bob at WeSellLouisville.com. Put selling tips in the subject line. I'll send it out to you via email. It's that simple. All right. Lee Harris, Limestone Title. We move on. Jennifer says she's a longtime listener. Thank you, Jennifer. And in this email, she says, I am considering a divorce, but I have not filed yet. And she says her spouse, who happens to be the sole person on the mortgage and the deed, is in the process of refinancing. So, Randy, you may want to jump in on this as well. She's worried that if her spouse refinances, it could create problems for the divorce. So let's break this down because there's several components here. If she's going through, if her spouse is filing for the refinancing, would her filing for a divorce create a problem? Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
both of you.
Randy.
Go ahead. Your side too. Yes, on the lending side, it can create a problem.
Okay.
Go
And
ahead.
Lee, from your side, legal?
Yeah, as far as title goes, he's already the only person on the mortgage and he's already the only person on the deed. So as far as her situation in reference to that house and what she could get from the divorce and what she, her status, that's not going to change. It just might complicate things
Right.
for the lender.
Yeah. So Jennifer, I think you need to have a heart-to-heart with the husband or soon-to-be ex to see what the status is and where that goes. You also want to.
Well-
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and really sincerely, is there going to be child support? All right, so we have a debt to income issue. There's alimony on one side or the other, the guy or the girl, and so this is where it gets complicated on the lending side. Yeah.
Yes.
And then on the legal side, for Jennifer Lee, if she's going to think about buying a new home, she doesn't do this until the divorce is final. Am I right about?
I wish people would not go ahead and buy another home before the divorce is final because it just makes it a lot more difficult. You can do it if you get your spouse to sign off. Some lenders, very few, I hate to even say it, will let you go ahead and get another mortgage. Very few. But then you have to quit claim deed the property off once you get the divorce. It's just a lot more steps. I get it. Some people, they see a house they want to buy and they're anxious to get their own place. But just know that it will be a few more steps and maybe a few more dollars to get those steps taken care of if you're still married.
And the concern is the fact that in a dower courtesy or courtesy state,
Right.
like we talked about earlier, that
Right.
the other spouse has somewhat of an interest in
Has an interest, yes.
the house,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So there's a theme to this program, folks. You may not have realized it, but there is. We move on. Randy Rocky Swan Financial Oliver considering buying one of those small homes. The little ones that we see on HGTV. They're
Tiny
cute.
homes,
They
yeah.
really are cute. I don't know where I'd store anything, but okay, they're cute. So he's wondering, can he get a mortgage on one of them the way he would for a larger home?
Most of the time, no, because of the simple fact is it's hard to find comps, and so they would want to go in that scenario, which I don't say very often, is maybe to a local bank, but a lot of times they won't do them either because they're tough to sell, and it's a very difficult market to understand, and then, so that usually means that lenders shy away when they don't understand it.
Do you think that'll change down the road
I
as
do.
more of these small homes come?
I think so. Obviously they're going to be very low loan amounts, so I have a feeling they're going to come with a little premium on the rate. But yes,
Yeah.
I think that will change.
All right, but that I think when we stop and think about it, where's the world going? Smaller homes, maybe that
Yeah.
was downsized, right? So,
Yes.
but some of those small ones are just too small for me. I mean, and I'll tell you, I got so much stuff in the basement of stuff from years past, and I went down there this past week to try to start combing through it to try to eliminate stuff that I don't need and don't use anymore, and it's overwhelming.
Oh, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
Oh God,
And if you're claustrophobic, which I am, that would be very difficult. I mean,
That would not be, that would not work for you. You need a big house.
That's
yes.
unbelievable. All right, so coming up, now that we're in June, coming up next week on the show, folks, 10 important grilling safety tips to keep our barbecue season fun, safe, and delicious. And I thought that was really good because there's a whole lot to this. And so we'll talk more about it for all of us who are thinking about who love to barbecue outside. And maybe I'll give out one of my barbecuing tips, which
There you
is
go.
this is a really good one. It's so easy, and when you reap the benefits of this barbecuing tip, maybe I'll give a couple. You will go, whoa, this was worth listening to the show. So that's next Sunday. We are out of time. My thanks to Randy Rocky, Swan Financial. They do a fabulous job shopping your loan to get you the very best rate. That's what you want. Someone who's in there fighting for you to get the best rate. You can reach Randy and the folks over at Swan by calling 645-0736. Also here, Lee Harris, our thanks to her. You can pick the closing attorney you want. Lee is not only a great person, but she's got a great staff that works with her. And they've got those cookies that are great that are there for closings. You can reach Lee on her cell phone. And again, agents, you can reach out to her. She's there for you. You can reach Lee at 649-7964. And if you're thinking of selling your home now in the future, I would love, love, love to help you. No home too big, no home too small. It's free, no obligation. I'll come out. I'll spend as much time. I love what I do. You'll see that when I talk to you. Though right now I'm dealing with sciatica, so I'm walking a little slow and a little crooked. I've been dealing with this sciatica thing now. It's back after a year being off of it. But for those of you who know, it's just this pinched nerve that comes anyway. So,
Yes.
but I'm still willing to come out there and help and talk. So, and I would love to. You can reach me on my cell phone, 376-5483. That translates into 376 live. Or you can go to bobsellslouisville.com and fill out the form and hit submit. And then for that free no obligation analysis of what your home is worth, you can head over to WeSellLouisville.com, whether it's on a phone or a computer, and click on the top of the page. We are out of time. See you next Sunday on News Radio 840 WHAS.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, good show. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right.
Absolutely.
See
Take
you.
care. All right.
Bye-bye.
You too. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.